But so anyways, verified I had the black porn, yeah. Alright, what's up guys? I am back. It's only been an hour, maybe, since the last video. It's raining outside. It's overcast, so the lighting in here is not great. Sorry. I am not Insta, what do they call it? Insta famous hunter. I don't have light ring thingies and yeah. Sorry. The lighting sucks. Well, you're dealing with a redneck, and I hope that's why you're here for these videos, is because I'm just some dumb redneck that you can relate to. So, here it is. CVA LRX. Went and shot it twice. Just went and put 2 rounds through it. But I did a couple things first, and we're just going to go over that real quick. So, first off, they have 2 separate breeches for these guns. One is for Blackhorn 209, one is for pelletized powder, or pelletized, yeah, black powder. This one came with the Blackhorn one installed. They are super hard to see. This one is stamped, the other one is not. It's stamped Blackhorn. Why CVA doesn't add some white paint or etch it in there a little more visible, I don't know. I'm not wearing my glasses mainly because every time I do a video I seem to forget to take the damn things off, and there's a big tinted out face. Because yeah, my lenses just automatically darken and I don't notice it. So I took them off, had them in the house, and yeah, I struggled to be able to see that. You know, if you're on the mountain and you take this gun all the way apart and for some reason you have both breech plugs there and the lighting sucks, whatever, right? Like, I know that's kind of a weird scenario, but just to add a little bit of something there, I'm probably going to take a white paint pen and fill in the Blackhorn stamping so it stands out. So I verified I had the Blackhorn breech plug in, and then I fired 1 primer through it after verifying the barrel was clear. So I just pulled the breech plug while I was trying to read it, looked down the barrel's clear, put it back in with anti-seize on it. CVA has their own brand of stuff, whatever you want to use. If you don't know what you're doing, use CVA's. They sell a muzzleloading starter kit that has cleaning materials and breech plug anti-seize and everything. So anyways, put it back in, fired 1 primer through it to verify that that breech plug was completely clear, blow out any debris, whatever. Took it back out. I have a little cleaning thing that I ran through it real quick to make sure it's clean, and then I ran solvent down the barrel. But on a muzzleloader, you cannot get your powder wet. Like, if you've never hunted with a muzzleloader, you need that clear. So I ran the solvent through here, and then I ran patches through until they came out completely dry. Put my breech plug back in, loaded it up. So what I've got, these are the Blackhorn 209 little charge tubes. In the end here, that is a Barnes 290 TMZ or TEZ. I don't remember exactly which one. And then there is the max amount of powder in here. Now, it sounds like there's a little bit of play, but that is because this top is hollow. These tubes, with both of those in here, are maxed out. Now, that is 84 grains by weight. I don't remember, 110, 120 by volume. They do have the by volume markings on here, but the volume is just not as accurate. So, and 84 grains is the max recommended by CVA, and I believe Blackhorn as well for these 50 caliber Magnum loads. Could I bump it up? Could I try and get a little extra performance out of this? Sure. It handled that just fine. In fact, it handled it quite nicely. There is some extra length on this barrel, but this gun handled the same load as what I'm shooting out of that other gun a lot better. It just seemed like a lot less kick. I think this barrel is a lot larger barrel, a thicker barrel. It's heavier. Even just looking at where it's threaded versus looking inside of there, which I'm not gonna probably be able to get a very good view on there, but it's just a very thick walled barrel. It just handled it really well. I shot 2 shots back to back. The barrel was not hot to handle when I grabbed it to, you know, work the next load into it. The barrel was not even really warm after 2 shots back to back. It handled the heat well. It's cool to the touch. It handled the shot well. I'm probably not going to worry about bumping up my loads and looking for pressure or anything like that. I'm just going to shoot it, see how it performs. Couple things. So I did adjust the comb here. It's really high. That's where it's comfortable. It just seems weird because I've never shot a gun with a stock with an adjustable comb. Now my chassis on my 300 Win Mag does have that adjustable cheek rest comb, but it's not a comb, right? It's a separate cheek rest off of the chassis. So it just looks weird to me. It is comfortable. I like it. The scope, I leveled that out really quick. I didn't throw levels on there. The reason being, I don't know if I missed it or if this is not the scope that originally was advertised, but IR is on there. That stands for illuminated reticle. This has a illuminated red dot or blue dot dead center in the middle. I don't know if that's legal in the state of Utah or the other states I plan to hunt with this gun, if I can draw tags. So right off the get-go, I'm gonna have to go look at legalities, and you know, I had looked at which states I can use a scope in, an inline in, artificial black powder in, stuff like that, right? Colorado, I can't even have fiber optics on. It has to be iron sights, if I remember correctly. I could shoot an inline in Utah during the hams hunts. They have limited entry handgun, archery, muzzleloader, shotgun hunts. I can't have a scope, right? I've looked into this stuff. I've never looked into illuminated reticles because the only thing I've ever shot illuminated on is my pistol red dot and my AR. I've never, ever, ever thought to look to see the legality of this. So this scope may not be legal to hunt with in Utah. Right off the get-go, I'm running into issues. But that's why I didn't go real in-depth to level it, because I may be taking this thing off really soon. I'm not going to spend a lot of time shooting with a scope if I can't hunt with it. It'll get taken off, and I will figure out something different for this super quick. Problem with that is I was kind of excited to test out the Conus. I've heard a lot of good things as far as they are budget-friendly scopes that hold up, so I wanted to try it. But right off the get-go, we're running into some issues here. Another thing forgot about in the original video, there are actually 2 of these little eyelets, so you could have your sling mounted down low and a bipod mounted up high. I don't know, it was kind of digging into my shoulder with the sling up high. This bottom one was actually kind of digging into the top of my shoulder. Wasn't super comfortable. Problem is by moving this down, yeah, you're going to get rid of that, but you're going to have to do some adjustments. I'm going to have to do some adjustments here. This is a very, very long gun to have on your shoulder. So I walk down, I own 10 acres, and it's down off a hill to our pond and where I shoot. And it's overgrown right now. I've been working on maintaining the trail a little better, but some more trees fell down over the trail, and I smacked that barrel hard. The tall gun, right? I don't know how often this will be on a sling. This may be more like my long range gun, where it's on the pack until I need it. The problem is with muzzleloaders, I've started hunting with muzzleloaders. This was the first thing I ever hunted with, which was patching around ball, but still. I started hunting with muzzleloaders. I didn't hunt with a rifle for deer until 2 years ago. Most of my muzzleloader hunting has happened fairly quick and relatively close. I mean, I've made a couple longish shots with a muzzleloader, but it was because it was an inline and scoped in Utah, which is legal. I've also had some extremely close shots, like 20 yards with a muzzleloader. So, yeah, You know, the 300 Win Mag, I don't mind the idea of that being on my back in a pack when I'm hunting and hiking, because rifle season is crazy and there's people everywhere. And you know, it cost me a bull elk last year. The gun was on my pack and a bull and some cows came barreling down this draw at me, and I was talking to another guy that I'd ran into right there. We just crossed paths, and you know, his gun was laying on the ground, mine was on my pack. Well, he got his gun faster than me and he shot the bull. Now I got my gun out and was trying to get a beat on. There was actually one other small bull with him. I was trying to get a beat on him, and yeah, I couldn't get a shot. But like I said, this is a very tall gun. I do have the Kafaru gun bearer, which keeps the gun up front, and I think I could put that fairly low to help lower this gun. But that is just me going on a rant there about length of the gun. Now, one thing I will say about this gun that I already mentioned in the other video is the collapsible ramrod. You know, normally on a muzzleloader, this barrel is not pointed at me. It's quite a ways out. Just, yeah, I don't want to hear YouTube guys cry about a barrel pointed in my face. So I would put my hand or my thumb and my finger around the barrel, and what it does is it just creates a way for this powder to pour in and not fall out or go all over, right? So I would pour my powder, my bullet would fall down in, I would throw that in my back pocket or, you know, back in my vinyl harness, whatever. I would take this little hand starter. I had a wood one when I shot patch and round ball. I have this plastic one, and I would seat it with that, seat it down a little further, and then at this point, normally I would pull my ramrod from right here and finish it out, right? Put the ramrod back in and be ready to shoot. Now you're adding in the step of, you know, get that all done and go. Yeah, I don't know. I really just don't know how I feel about collapsible ramrod and a detached ramrod. It is something I am definitely going to struggle with. We'll see how I feel about it in the long run. Who knows? Maybe I just absolutely hate it. I hope not. Another thing, I'm going to throw this out there real quick. So after you would load it, right, you'd break open the breech, you'd load a primer, and you're ready to fire after you pull the hammer back. These holes where your stock screws go in fit 209 shot shell primers. Perfect. Or, yeah, the shot shell primers fit in there perfectly. So if you have the gun loaded and you have 2 primers in there and one of these tubes, you actually are ready to shoot 2 shots with just that, right? As long as you've got your ramrod stuff. Now, one thing I'm going to show off real quick. Let me put this gun over here. Barrel is not aimed at me. If you take their little kit they have here, the little bag, still not a fan of this either. I already think there's a lot of better ways to build this, and why CVA went the way they did with it, I don't know. But if you take and put the palm saver down first, you can actually take your little hand starter, fit it in there, put the flap over the top here, and this is an adjustable little strap, clip in place, and you can tighten it up if you wanted to. That's just a little bit tight, not super tight. There's a little drawstring here. I think the drawstring's kind of worthless. Even with just the ramrod, it doesn't sit above your ramrod. So yeah, you can tighten it up against the collapsible ramrod, but you know, you've got a flap over the top. Just suck your top down as tight as you can. You're going to keep out more moisture than this little drawstring. And once the hand starter's in there, the drawstring's pretty much worthless. There's a grommet for draining. Overall, like I said, not a huge fan of CVA's little kit here. But I did want to show that is one thing already that I found. At least that way your hand starter and your ramrod are together. But, you know, if you mount this on the bottom of a vinyl harness, it sticks out pretty far. I mean, I don't have a real wide chest, but that's wider than my vinyl harness. Mount it on the side, right? That's pretty freaking huge. You mount that on your hip belt, you're going to be trying to step over stuff. If you mount it on your backpack hip belt, if you take off your backpack, you're without it. it's just not my favorite thing. I really don't have a solution for it right now, other than building something custom, and I just don't have time for that, really. I really just don't. The best option may be bino harness and have the ramrod and the hand starter like strapped to the bottom of it without the case. I don't know. That is high up on my priority list, is figure out a better way to carry that with me. Anyways, like I said, there's a lot of info. I'm going over a bunch of stuff. I actually did basically this whole video once already, and then my battery died and it lost about half the video. So I'm trying to think of what I said in the last video versus this video, so that I'm not repeating myself twice on this one and I'm not forgetting anything important. But overall, I am super excited for it. It really did. It handled the maximum suggested load really nicely. Very little kick. The grips are actually super comfortable, because I did kind of like just sit there before I shot and kind of played with it. They are very grippy. You know, obviously it wasn't raining when I shot, but that was one thing. You know, my other muzzleloader is just a very smooth, like rough, like plastic, right? It is very slick. Even the coating on this is fairly sticky. Overall, the quality of everything, the Cerakote is really nice. It is a very nice looking gun overall. Yeah, I mean, so far, super excited for it. I'm super stoked. We're gonna work on getting it dialed in once I find out if this scope is legal, or if I get a new scope on it, whichever comes first. I am also extremely excited for, like I said, the fact that this whole gun can break down, you know, even if it's just as simple as, hey, I need to do a repair in the field, and it's a major repair, I can break this barrel down and work with this barrel a lot easier than swinging all my other crap around, especially if you were to have, you know, say you have a bipod mounted on here and you've got, you know, your sling and everything else. You could pull that barrel apart and work on the gun completely separate. I don't know if it would necessarily be easier, but it is an option. And like I said, for carrying it up to the mountain, flying with it, you know, if you're gonna fly with this gun, that is a very, very long gun. I really should get a overall measurement. I'm sure you could find it online, but break it down, put it in a shorter case and fly with it. It's going to be a lot nicer. Backpack with it, horses, whatever. Anyways, this video has turned into another 20-minute video. I guess this will be a part 2. But yeah, I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to go get my kids gathered up and look into legalities of illuminated reticles in the states I want to hunt muzzleloader with. Anyways, guys, I will talk to you later. Have a good one. And any questions, comments, concerns, let me know.